Hello, next video. Today you're gonna take a look at some battles here from Tin Eye Tarball, who sent in some battles with a triple new team, basically new Pokemon here, with the Surf version of a Lantern, with Spark, which I think in the lead is definitely pretty nice, with the what's it called, the Slurpuff, which has now the Fairy Wind, and also the Camerupt, which now has Incinerate. This game seems to be on German, something I'm really familiar with. I just have to hope they're not saying the German name, as we see a Blastoise coming in. Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend you to use the Camerupt as a save swap. He says he's like a 2500 rating, usually at the end of the season. Doesn't really hit legend, but yeah, I think here you should always save swap the Slurpuff no matter what, really. So you didn't really have to save swap in general in the lead there. So I think this was kind of a mistake, but you can still hopefully farm this thing down. Well, they got a lot of energy, of course, against the Pokemon before. As we see here, they swap into the I want to say the German word now again, into the Slurpuff, as they going to go down here by the charge moves. I don't know where you really swap there. I guess you want to farm down. You have to see what they have in the back, which is going to be, oh, it's going to be a close. It's going to be a Pillow Swine, and they're actually going to die from 2 Surs. Yeah, that was kind of lucky. I think you kind of misplayed the game there by A, swapping out in the beginning, and B, swapping into the Camerupt there. You definitely, your save swap here in this time is the Slurpuff, and they also go into the Slurpuff now, as the Slurpuff going to be able to get out those Pokemon like the Stunfisk and having access to the Flamethrower, which does a lot of damage. This is only a Rock Slide as far as I can see. It is a Rock Slide, as we can see now that they go for one Flamethrower again. You survive one here. I think you should let it, you're going to shield it. I guess you are, that's okay. I think I would have let the move go through, because now you always have to mirror the shields. Doesn't really help you too much, but you might put them into range where you can incinerate them down, I guess. But here you could also overfarm a little bit more, because you would have been able to get more energy. But maybe you can farm it down now with the Camerupt. Camerupt is very, very, I don't know, it's actually not that squishy, to be honest. It's like kind of mid-tier in terms of the bulk. We see the Toxic Rock coming in here. We see the Toxic Rock going out of here. Bye-bye. Earth Power just completely destroys it, as they try to catch the move here on their Lantern, but actually one Seed Bomb is enough, so it's pretty squishy, to be honest, to KO this Camerupt. As we see here, a Seed Bomb coming through against the Lantern. One Thunderbolt coming through now, and this will not be able to KO the opponent. I don't think you could have done anything really better. I mean, like the first matchup, I think, against the Stunfisk, maybe, because you went then kind of 2 shields down, which wasn't the best ideal scenario, especially if you have the Pokemon there in the back with the Camerupt, but it's fine. We see a horrible lead here with the Abomasnow, which has access here to the Razor Leaf as a fast move. Usually you see only Powder Snow. Razor Leaf is a little bit something new, which I don't really see that often. But you can go ahead, go for 2 Flamethrowers, get the both shields from the opponent. You're going to be able to now go into your Camerupt. You should wait out the switch clock till you have 1 second, what the player does here as well. Good job there. You're going to shield up this move, which can be potentially even like an energy ball like here. And you're going to be able to go for 1 overheat here, hopefully. Yep, the overheat coming through. You should be able to swap out afterwards. Okay, they're going into the fighters. You should swap out most likely already before, because you kind of really don't want to have the Lantern in a scenario like it is right now. Here I would have just swapped already after the first Incinerate, like after the first overheat against the Hippo, because you can then lock the Hitmonchan against the Lantern, and you would have been in a better spot. Like this, you're still going to be able to win, but I think it would have been a little bit better for you, because you kind of want to have the Camerupt for the later matchup against the Abomasnow, and you would have been a little bit better off there. We see a horrible-ish lead, but the opponent decides to swap into their Azumarill. Okay, I mean, you have a ground type that would be able to resist most of the moves here against an electric type, so you swap in your water type that cannot do anything. I love those early battles. It's just sometimes refreshing. As we see here, some Thunderbolts. By the way, for like shoutcasting, it's going to be a little bit easier for me later on with those battles, as people going to be at higher elo, or like at elo where people that run very weird stuff are not really here. But right now, like, I have to pre-produce some videos anyway, as I'm on vacation next week. As we see here, 1 Earth Power coming through, And we can see that they can just farm it all the way down, I guess. Is this a power punch? It is a power punch. They survive it and they go into the Stunfisk. Overheat would have been the better option here. I don't know if this actually KOs. No, it doesn't. So Overheat would have KO'd, and this makes you in a little bit, like, I don't know, like, yeah, in general, like, you should have went definitely for the Overheat. This makes you in a kind of tough position. They go for the Earthquake. Nice catch there. But you can go for not a move, sadly. You are able to survive it, though. It's only a Rock Slide. And you can go for one Energy Ball now. Pretty good play there to go for this. It doesn't really matter too much, but the Energy Ball still had the option to get the debuff, but the opponent just decides to let it go through and just forfeit the match for whatever reason. Like, those early battles are sometimes a little bit weird, as we see a Warren here. Warren going to take super effective damage from the Spark here, as we see a Medicham coming in. I guess it's fine to go for the Surf. You kind of need to go into your Fairy now. It's kind of awkward, to be honest, the scenario. They go for a Psychic, as you now do enough damage definitely with one Energy Ball, I think, to KO this thing, or you at least get very close to it. You get very close to it, you can KO it with one more fast move, and we will see the opponent going into a Nidoqueen. Here, the Surf is already stored, so I think you're going to go into your Lantern, but you're not going to go into your Lantern. I know you resist the Poison Fang. I think this is only a Poison Fang, so no, it's Earth Power. Never mind, good shield in there. But I guess the Incinerate actually does a lot of damage here. I guess it's fine. You actually go, okay, they're just going to let this move go through. Very interesting. They have to shoot something, so baiting here I think is the right decision, and it was the right decision, as they can go now for one Earthquake most likely. They go straight for it, so you can go you can go for the Thunderbolt. I think there's no way that they can win this game anymore. You also still have the potential Camerupt in the back, but we will see now the next opponent having a Gliscor in the lead. We can see that you can now go for a Surfy actually. It's such a way better matchup, as the fast move is resisted. This is only a Night Slash, so you're not really scared unless they boost their attack like this. That's kind of scary, to be honest. You can go for one Surf. You just want to get some damage on this Pokemon. You kind of can shield this, but you don't shield this. Not necessary, but of course after the boost it's a little bit tricky, as you can now go ahead with one Surf. I would now try to catch the move on the Fairy type, and they do exactly this. Good job there. Night Slash not going to do anything, and you can maybe even farm down, but they go into their own Charm User, which is kind of nice for you, because you can farm this thing down with your Incinerate on the Camerupt, as we get the shield here, which is very good for you in general. You can just farm this thing all the way down. You have to shield here, of course, as one close combat would do a lot of damage, and even a Crunch would do it. This is a Crunch, as you can just farm it all the way down. You get to 100 energy, which is amazing. And you can just shield here again, and there's not a lot that this thing can really take. This is the amazing thing about Camerupt, especially as a closer. You could have went for Earth Power here. Earth Power would have KO'd already after this fast move. And now you see a Stunfisk. Good recognition of swapping out here, because now this game is already won. There's nothing that they can do anymore. Even if they go for a Rock Slide here, you have a move stored. And yeah, but in general, Camerupt is such a good closer, because all the moves here do so much damage. Earth Power does so much damage. The fast move generates energy fast and also does a lot of damage. And then you have Overheat, just an overkill to most people. Like, even like water types don't really want to get hit by an Overheat, and even then you still have the Earth Power. If it's like a flying water type, for example, like the Pelipper, I think even an Overheat would still do around 50% there. So we see an, what's it called even? Is it? I don't know. This thing here, we see this Pokemon coming in there. Is it also the same name in English? I'm not sure. Aquana? I don't know, maybe. I'm so confused seeing German, because I'm German and talking in English. So it's kind of rough. We can see a Dragonite. Staying in here is, I think, fine. Letting this move go as well. Of course, now you would have been able to get a Thunderbolt. I think you survive one more Dragon Tail, but they're gonna shield anyway, so it doesn't matter. But now you can go into your Slurpuff, which can resist all the moves. And we see, yeah, this Pokemon has not the Air Slash. It has the fast move of, I forgot the name actually. The Steel type. Steel Wing. What a nice name, Steel Wing. You can go for one Overheat. I think this actually KOs the Dragonite. Dragonite is squishy. You are squishy. This does a lot of damage. And yep, one Dragonite goes down to one Fire type move. That's very nice for you. Next game here, we're going to see a Jellicent, and also they swapped their fast move here to Water Gun. They said that they were swapping in between Water Gun and the Spark here. I guess it's Water Gun, and they decided to go for a Spark at the end. Yeah, again, for me, Water Gun is only really viable as the Say Swap version. I think like also in the others it's viable, but I think Spark might be better for other versions. But if you use it as a Say Swap, you really want to have Water Gun, while the rest is kinda up to you. Interesting, this shield didn't work and also the damage didn't come through, so I guess it's fine for you, as you're gonna get the final shield of the opponent as well, in case those were still battled when the lag was crazy, as we see a what's it called, a Bastion coming in here. One Earth Power coming through here as well, double super effective step, and it doesn't KO actually. Interesting. One Stone Edge does a lot of damage. Maybe shielding would have been also kind of interesting, but of course they have the Jellicent here, which is still going to do some nice damage, as you're going to be able to go for a Thunderbolt, doing some pretty decent damage, as the Water Gun will hopefully be enough to farm this thing down, and it will be. Like, you see how good Water Gun also can be. Like, Water Gun just does always some set damage, which is kind of crazy, so good game there. Next up, we're going to see here the next opponent having a Lantern versus the Medicham. They kind of swap out, okay. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I guess it's fine, as we see us. That's actually the coolest matchup anyway. See a Registeel coming in, and if they're not shielding the first move here, you basically golden, as you can just let the next move go through. It's us. Oh god, it's a flash cannon, never mind. Then you're not golden, then you're just gonna go down there, as I guess they don't run the move Zapkin anymore. I guess it's actually also a funny way to play Registeel now, since the Zapkin got nerfed. You can just go back to Flash Cannon, but I mean, Zapkin is still better, I think, than the Flash Cannon. Here you go for the bait, you get the debuff, which is actually important, I think, because now this overheat would KO you. But I don't know if they're going to shield this anyway. They don't shield this and this thing goes down. But it's better for them because they have only the Victreebel in the back now. And I think you're going to be able to lose this match now because the Victreebel is just too strong. They have to shield this move up here. It's going to be a Leaf Blade. But like, you don't even get to another Surf. And this is going to go down here as well. I hate Victreebel in the back. If you ever try to play something not bulky, Victreebel just completely ruins your life. So it's kind of... I really hate that this Pokemon even exists, to be honest. But I also think that Razor Leaf is not really that broken, to be honest. It's just Victreebel being broken. As we already in the next game, we see here Surf coming through. We see this Surf doing no damage as it gets shielded. And you're gonna go into your Fairy type, as they can go for one Flamethrower now. Gonna do some nice damage against this Registeel, but unless they run the Flash Cannon again, you should be pretty fine here. You can take one move. And we will see that they are running the Zap Cannon, which is better for you. You can now go for one more Flamethrower, and you can actually, I think, realign as well, maybe? Think you do, like, think this is actually a pretty bad Registeel here. You're going to be able to shield this move up. You can go for one Flamethrower, you can overform a lot, which they do here, which is very good. And we will see here that the Flamethrower are going to knock out this Registeel. We see the Azumarill coming in, so you can align your what's called your Lantern against it, which is very nice, as this Thunderbolt can do some very nice damage. You're gonna swap now into your Camerupt. You have to let this move go through. There's no way around this. And you got basically a lot of free turns here, but you have to let this move go through as well. Yeah, that's the right decision. You have to go for one Surf here pretty fast, so they don't get to another move here. And you can now go for a Thunderbolt against the Azumarill again, which is going to be pretty nice, as this Thunderbolt going to do enough damage to KO this easily. And you still have your shield left, and you're still easily going to win this game. Next up, we're going to see the next opponent having the Lantern against the Trevenant. Very horrible lead. You're going to swap out, as we have some reconnection, which happens to me a lot of times in the beginning as well. You can go for a Flamethrower. Maybe they don't know your moveset. Let's see. They do not know your moveset. Oof. They just let the move go through, and bye-bye Trevenant. Very, very nice there, as we can see another Flamethrower hit the... What? They just saw the Flamethrower. Like, what did they expect gonna happen now? Tackle or what? I don't know. Like, yeah, Flamethrower gonna do some nice damage here as well. Good thing there. They're now shielding this up. Very nice. You can just let this move go through. Farm down with the Camerupt. You can just shield once, and actually they kept you alive with 1 HP. You can go for an Earth Power here, I guess. Going to be a little bit tougher now, to be honest. Maybe you go for the Earth Power. Can get maybe a shield here. You can get a shield here. That's very nice. And you would be able to get to the next move as well. That's very good. Now you can just let the next move go through, I think. And you can be able to just... No, maybe you can just shield. Do you shield? You let the move go through. No, you get in a shield. It's kind of riskier, but it definitely works out anyway. So it's going to be a good game. And we go into the final game now as we see Lantern against the Stunfisk again. Very decent lead-ish if you had Water Gun, but you don't have Water Gun. They throw at the Rock Slide range, which is... They definitely wanted to catch the Earthquake there, but of course they cannot if they run the... Like, if they go for the Rock Slide, which is way better for you. You can now go for one Surf. Surf gonna put him close to half range, but again... Water Gun is very necessary for this kind of scenario, as they still going to shield this move up, and you're going to shield this move up. It is an Earthquake, it is an Earthquake, which is nice. You can go for another Surf, maybe they shield it again, but you still need more damage on this Pokemon. Maybe you want to swap out now, but they're actually going to let this move go through. You're gonna let this move go through because it's a Rock Slide. Going to be a weird one. You're actually going to now go into the Camerupt and you can just farm it down. That was hilarious. And I think they went first into their... what's it called, Obstagoon, and now into the Swampert. Like, it was a split second where I saw the Obstagoon typing on the top. I don't know if that was correct, but we have to see. Maybe they also saw it here, as we see now that they can just go for one Energy Ball, and they should be able to KO this Swampert there, especially if they have really the Pokemon there in the back, the Obstagoon. This will be easily a win, and it's actually the Obstagoon in the back. That's hilarious. They can now go for 2 Energy Balls in the least. Unless they have like a move like the Hyper Beam, they will be able to win this game. They don't have Hyper Beam, they have the move Night Slash. And this is going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Pretty nice gameplay, not a lot of mistakes to be honest. Some that I pointed out, so it was pretty fine. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.